The NFL draft isn't everything, but it almost is. What if the secret to a winning NFL franchise is actually way simpler than we make it? The best teams show us how to do it every April. They aren't winning in the fall because of the free agents they sign. They're winning because of the draft. And the proof, it's been sitting in front of us for the past 5 years. Today we're breaking down how these teams have mastered the draft and how other teams keep missing.
Wow, so it's Colston Loveland, not Tyler Warren. That's a bit of a surprise.
This image shows each NFL team's combined regular season winning percentage from 2020 through 2024. These are the teams who've drafted the best in that time frame. Chiefs, Eagles, Bucs, and Bengals, all top drafters, all Super Bowl teams in the past 5 years. Yet, scroll down to the bottom of the Athletics NFL Draft Power Rankings, and you'll see bad teams: Panthers, Raiders, and Patriots. It's kind of weird in my system to call the Patriots a bad team. That doesn't align in my football brain. It's not a coincidence that the top drafting teams win more. Every Super Bowl winner of the past 5 years has been a top 10 drafting team, other than the Rams. Every team inside the top 10 draft rankings have at least a 500 record and at least 2 playoff appearances during that time frame. Only 7 of the remaining 22 teams have a record of 500 or better. The blueprint is there. So what do the best drafting teams have in common? 1, they build the trenches first. Teams include the Lions, Ravens, Chiefs, Cowboys. Their early picks traditionally go to offensive and defensive line. For example, the Lions' new regime took Penei Sewell and Aiden Hutchinson first pick in back-to-back drafts. 2, they prioritize leadership and character. And if you don't like character, that's too personal. Well, it's leadership and intangibles. Teams include the Bucs, Ravens, Chiefs. They pick leaders, captains, and just smart football IQ dudes. For example, the Ravens took Kyle Hamilton, a captain at Notre Dame, and Tyler Linderbaum, a captain at Iowa, in the first round in the same draft. 3, they hit on day 2 and day 3. Teams include, again, Chiefs, Ravens, Lions. Depth wins you football games. These teams don't just win in the first round, they win in round 3 too. For example, the Chiefs, after their Super Bowl loss in 2020, found 2 All-Pros to anchor their offensive line in Creed Humphrey in the second round and Trey Smith in the 6th round. 4, they stick to best player available. They take a page out of the NBA draft. Teams include, again, the Ravens and the Eagles. They don't overthink need, they stack talent. Example, again, Kyle Hamilton to the Ravens in 2022 and Jalen Carter to the Eagles in 2023, despite neither of those teams needing that position. And then 5, this is a sneaky one. Sometimes we forget about this, but they stay stable in the front office. Teams include Eagles, Chiefs, Bills, Ravens. A lot of what good drafting is giving smart people time. But I'll admit, there are outliers. The blueprint doesn't always work. Even the best drafters aren't immune to chaos. And there are teams like the Rams and the Niners who, even though they draft poorly, can find bursts of success. Why? Well, 1, quarterback changes everything. No matter how well you draft elsewhere, if you miss on your quarterback or your quarterback gets hurt, you can't overcome it. Example, the Lions. They've been lights out in the draft in recent years, but they have Jared Goff as their quarterback. He's good, don't get me wrong, but he's not on that Allen or Mahomes tier. Another example, the Dolphins hit on Jalen Waddle, Jalen Phillips, and Javon Holland, but Tua's concussions derailed momentum. Second reason, bad ownership or front office turmoil. Even if GMs and scouts draft well, dysfunctional ownership or leadership turnover can sabotage development. Example, the Chargers, tons of young talent, but instability. Coaches fired, GMs replaced, kept resetting the progress. The Commanders are another one, at least in the past era. Occasionally good drafts, but terrible ownership structure. 3, you gotta acknowledge it. Injuries and bad luck. Football's chaotic. One key injury can totally tank an entire draft class. The Ravens with J.K. Dobbins or Rashad Bateman both missed major time, slowing their offensive development. For the Chargers, Rashawn Slater missed an entire season after being an all-pro rookie. 4, we got cap pressure and veteran stars aging out. Good drafts buy you time, but eventually your stars either get expensive or just too old. The Buccaneers are a good example. Their 2020 draft was elite and got them over the hump to win the Super Bowl, but a aging or retiring Tom Brady and cap pressure forced the reset. The Rams are another one. They went all in for their 2021 roster, but then by the time of the 2023-2024 season, their roster hollowed out. And then 5, believe it or not, coaching matters. Even a great draft can be wasted by bad coaching or maximized by great coaching. Example, you already know, the Chiefs. Andy Reid has developed Patrick Mahomes and others into stars. The Bears, though, they've drafted talented players, but then been cycling through coaches to not maximize and develop that talent. Now that the 2025 draft is done, did the best teams stick to the trends that's been giving them so much success the past 5 years? These teams did. Lions, you already know the deal. More trench toughness. Chiefs, more offensive and defensive defensive line help for Mahomes. Ravens, the best player available magic continues. Cowboys, offensive line rebuild in motion. Bengals, gotta go defense first. Bills, also all in on defense. But these teams shifted from their recent trends. The Bucs, future-focused offense rather than a win-now trenches approach. Dolphins went big and strong over fast and flashy. Eagles, a rare early linebacker pick, and they traded up with the Chiefs to go get him. Strange on both fronts. Chargers are building around the ground game rather than Herbert's right arm. No surprise though, most of the great drafting teams just continued to do what they do each year. That's not to say the few that did shift it'll backfire, but it's something interesting to keep your eye on. What's my conclusion? Well, the NFL is messy. It is random and it does require some luck. But the bottom line is this: good drafting is a strong predictor of winning, especially over a 5-year time frame. Look at teams like the Chiefs, the Eagles, and even the Lions. It's not a coincidence. Championship runs and playoff consistency almost always follows a stretch of strong drafting. So after this draft, who do you think sets themselves up the best? Drop your pick in the comments. I'll be responding to a bunch of you guys down there.